Question is it going live? Well, welcome to the 7 o'clock talk. And I still don't know if I've got that going live on Instagram or not. Give me 1 second. I'll be right back. And it looks like it's working. There it's going. Now we're cooking with gas. So tonight, I thought we would take a second and talk about stress and what stress does. And you want it down a little bit? That's about as far as it goes.
Got it.
Here, just shut it up.
Want to see the ceiling?
There we go. And so when we talk about stress, a couple things is let's talk about what it does to the body first. And whether you're talking about physical stress, mental stress, financial stress, marital stress, what other stress?
Psychological, emotional,
If you're looking
any
at
kind of stress.
food stressors, whatever the case may be, there are some very distinct steps that happen. And one of the things that people really don't think about is when you are in fight or flee, and they also call this HPA axis dysregulation. There's a bunch of different terms for it, but when you're in fight or flee, basically your blood sugar goes up, your body gets ready to go and fight or flee. So the stomach becomes more permeable. That's why people will get nauseous or get ill. The body does not want blood to be in the gut. It wants it to be in the arms and the legs and stuff like that so you can run. The blood in the first part gets thinner and gets to where it runs, and then it actually starts to get thicker so that if you get injured, you'll clot really quick. And all of this happens whether or not it's in your head or actually happening. And right now, we were going to talk on acromantia tonight, and my experiences with people today have been just, it makes me sad that people get so worked up over stuff. And I used to be that way. And then I was watching Zig Ziglar, and Zig Ziglar said that to get worked up over something or to look at what somebody else has, to think that you should be doing better, whatever else, or if you're getting stressed from somebody who acts like they're better than you, or if they think they know more than you, or whatever else, there's one great equalizer. And that is, at the end of the road, we all end up in a pine box, in an urn, or in a hole. It doesn't matter. Nobody is.
If you're lucky, there's other places you could be found.
Yeah, but that is just, it really doesn't matter. And this political stuff, when we talk to stress, people get so worked up over it, and there's nothing that you can do. Now, I can understand being stressed out if you have an animal that's in the river and you can actually go save it, or if you have a child that's in trouble and you can go save it. You have a parent, a loved one, a spouse, something of that nature where you can make a difference. But when it comes to the news, when it comes to politics, when it comes to religion, when it comes to all these things, you're not going to change somebody else. So why get stressed out over it? Why work yourself up into a tizzy? And I actually am guilty of this when I was in my 30s and 40s. And
now too.
Well, certain people can push my buttons. And so it's one of those things that you need to sit with yourself. And that's the funny thing. Jess explained it best as it applies to the cold plunge tub. You have to just sit there, and the only thing that you can think about or concentrate on is yourself. And ultimately, you're the only person that is going to be responsible or take care of you. And so when you sit down, and I was reading a meditation book today, when you sit down and you just get calm and quiet and you just sit with your own thoughts, lots of great ideas come out of that. Very rarely in the heat of the moment and in emotional turmoil and whatever else do you have these epiphanies. It's only when you take that time and really just ask yourself. I mean, everybody, we're all human. So what's going to happen? Everybody wants to react. Everybody has a knee-jerk reaction. And when you have that knee-jerk reaction, there's always going to be events, there's always going to be triggers, whatever the case may be. And when that happens, it's your reaction to it that matters. It's not actually even the incident, but how you react to that, because that determines if your blood sugar is going to go up, your blood pressure is going to go up, or whatever the case may be. I do have got to stop here for just a second. Jess just tried the new hydrogen water generator. What'd you think?
It tastes funny, but it's not bad.
So we're trying a new toy. Oh, don't run it without the water.
I'm just showing them it lights up.
Yeah. But so, I mean, I've said 6 minutes worth of stress stuff. What do you got to add? Because I know you've spent a lot of time on trying to learn how to deal with stress and others.
He just thinks I'm psycho, but I'm way less psycho than I used to be. He's the only one that makes me psycho. Well, not necessarily.
I was going to say, no.
Well, we went out to eat, and we were sitting there trying to enjoy our dinner, but it were so loud. So my thought of this is we're lucky because we live in the country and we have land and we can go outside our back door and look at the stars and be calm and quiet. But I can't imagine living in a big city where there's no place to get any quiet or peace or solitude or anything. So just find it somewhere. I find it in the ice plunge. I love the ice plunge tub. Update on that, like it really works with headaches. We've both lost fat without changing diets. I like it icy rather than cold. So it's been as cold as 30. I actually like it there. Way better than 44. And I can do like almost 5 minutes at 44 degrees. I can do 3 minutes and a half at 30. But I like it better. The colder it is, the better.
So when you look at different types of stress and you start to look at like an ice bath is what is called a hormetic stressor, because when you go into it, your body reacts and your body gets ready to fight or flee, and it's real tight. But then once you get out and the stress is gone, then all of a sudden, all the good things, that's when all the magic happens. But when you ruminate on something, I'm just going to pick on the election and the stupid politics coming up. I don't watch television. It's kind of funny. I've seen things in my Facebook feed that are all talking about something about Taylor Swift and her boyfriend, and something about, of course, there's always something about Trump, and then there's always something about Biden. And
well, I have something to say about the Taylor Swift thing. I'm just going to chime in on it. Like, why are we picking on Taylor Swift for caring about her boyfriend and took like 2 minutes of her time to go down and congratulate him and give him a kiss? It was a 3-hour ball game. Every person that has a person in their life, regardless of whether it's your boyfriend or your husband or your wife, you should care and love and respect them and take a few minutes out of your time to congratulate, support, whatever. So that just, to me is how selfish our community has actually gotten, that we are forgetting that they may be athletes, but they still have relationships, families, spouses, and it was 2 minutes, maybe
Well,
three.
I have no context for it. I don't know what it's about.
Well, I think it was that they broke it. They panned to them. She went down and interrupted. I'm assuming these fans. I didn't see all of it, but she wanted to go down and congratulate her boyfriend, who was an athlete of this team, and she gave him a hug and gave him a kiss and was telling him how proud of. And so apparently everybody was selfish enough to think that they should not stop the game or whatever for this.
So this is how weird I am. I
see it
I used to have season tickets to the Colts. I haven't watched the Colts since Edgerrin James. I haven't watched basketball or any of that stuff, for probably 10 or 15 years. And actually, I get a lot more done. And there's a lot less drama and a lot less stress. And honestly, the only way that you stop stress is to control yourself, because you're not going to control others.
Well, not all stress is bad.
The hormetic stressor, I get. But when we're going to sit here and we talk about these mundane things, these worldly things, I could care less what a professional athlete makes. Good on them. They found a niche. They're good at it. Fabulous. Tip of the hat. But I don't necessarily agree, so I don't go support it. I don't watch it. I'll listen to it, or I'll get a score once in a while. But that's the only way that you don't feed the crazy in yourself. And whatever it is that gives you that crazy. So let's talk about different stressors. If you're watching the news and it pisses you off and keeps you up, turn off the news. There's nothing that is infotainment. If you're watching Fox, you're getting all one side. If you're watching CNN, you're getting all the other. And the truth really lies probably somewhere in between. I truly don't care about the news. They don't give anything constructive. If something bad is happening, somebody generally will tell me about it. Next thing, if you have financial stress, and at some point in time, we all in our lives have financial stress. Nobody, or very few, go look at the ex-president. Dude went bankrupt how many times? He's had financial stress. Go look at anybody that that's famous and look at their whole story, and there was a time of struggle. So they had financial stress. The keys to getting out of financial stress are having a plan and working the plan. And your body will understand that. That's the funniest thing. You can be broke. You can be capital broke. And as long as you have a plan and you're working it and you're seeing little incremental gains, your body remains calm. And I, for the longest time, the beginning of the month, absolutely hated the beginning of the month. The week before the beginning of the month, I would not sleep. Everything was coming due, blah, blah, blah. And you've just got to, start to educate yourself. Look at your weaknesses and strengthen those. If it's food, the great thing tonight, I saw somebody that's in the health field talk about people telling them that good food sucks. Healthy food sucks. It's just not good. And my answer to him, because he was frustrated with it, is if you think that healthy food sucks, A, you've never eaten healthy food. B, you don't know how to cook, most likely. Or C, you're lazy. And that's just it. So you have to go try different things. Or you have to try to cook and have fun with it. um, and yeah, then you get away from the foods that really are fake. You know what? You can make a killer pizza that's not going to tear you up. You can make spaghetti. I had a patient today argue with me that noodles are God's gift, and she just absolutely loves noodles. And I wanted to go back to the white room where I have all my little whiteboards and start to explain how this stuff works and how noodles release glutamorphins and you're basically getting your hit. It's like a drug, but it's pointless. And so she loves noodles. Hey, you know what? They have great noodles. They have black bean noodles. They have other kinds of noodles, chickpea noodles, blah, 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 blah. I mean, to me, when I eat a noodle, the noodle just, it doesn't have any taste. It's whatever it picks up, whatever it's in. So there's really nothing to it. If you have rumination, and rumination is where you can't let something go, you play the what if game. If somebody says black, you say white. If somebody says off, you say on. And there's all that just conflict, and you're a negative person at your core. Then that's what self-help sections are for. Start reading, God, any number of people. I like Napoleon Hill. I was quoting what's his face earlier. There's just so many ways to actually change your thinking.
Get a dog
on that stuff. Get a dog if you love animals. If you don't like animals, a dog's a stressor. A cat's a stressor. Anything can be a stressor. If you don't love them like people do, then, to me, I give or take. I don't care.
Libby loves him.
Yeah. But like Zig Ziglar, that's right. Thank you, Susan. But those things are the things that's where
actually loving your pet and petting it is actually calming, and it actually decreases your blood pressure if you like dogs or cats or whatever.
And that's the way to calm the body down, is to do something simple and repetitious. Petting a dog, sitting there doing 4-7-8 breathing.
I think it's just that you're concentrating on something outside of yourself.
Yep. Doing a rosary, doing a mantra, doing meditation. But that's just it. If you like meditation, I know people who can't sit down and do meditation. And if you have them sit down and do meditation, their heart rate variability goes through the roof. So, you gotta kind of know yourself. So I think that is enough going on tonight. A couple of things I will mention. The website will be changing over the next few probably weeks. We do have new software in the clinic, so we've got a learning curve there. But we do have some new products for people that don't want to buy $1,000 reverse osmosis machines. We've gone out and found some reverse osmosis machines that are countertop and affordable. We've done a lot of researches and things to, if you're doing work late at night and that stuff, and you got to be in front of a screen, blue blockers and stuff like that. So those will all start hitting the new website in the next week or two. And any way that we can help you, we would love to do so. Lord knows we talk about this stuff with our functional medicine patients. Whatever people need, we have a functional medicine patient who wants to go into business and make bread and she wants a vertically integrated farm, and she wants to control all the ingredients from top to bottom. And knowing what an undertaking that is, I was all about, hey, you got to have a plan in place. You got to have a way to save, and so we sit there and we talk about these things, and you wouldn't think that has anything to do with health. But guess what? If she starts out and doesn't have enough capital or doesn't have something, that's stress, and that starts the whole breakdown process. All right. Y'all have a good night. We got to put a flagpole up before we get Gracie.